will he recompense him. So, as we have said so many times, there's a distinct difference between Israel and Judah. Israel comprises of the 12 tribes originally, then you had Ephraim and Manasseh added to it, making 14, and Judah just was really one tribe with two other tribes there. Now, let's finally look here at Jeremiah 25:31 in this particular section. It says, Jeremiah 25:31, "A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth, for the Lord hath a controversy with the nations. He will plead with all flesh. He will give them that are wicked to the sword, saith the Lord." Verse 32 says, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation, and a great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coasts of the earth." So what we have seen there, you see, some people say, oh, you don't know who Israel are. Well, basically Israel is the white English-speaking peoples, and there are some other people, I think, make up Israel as well, like the French, for example. But then we clearly saw about Judah, basically the Jews and the Levites, who make up Judah. But you see, what is interesting, why I came to Jeremiah 25:31, is you could say, well, that's all the Jews, that's all Israel, they're all one. But you see, what we read just now, it said, the Lord hath a controversy with the nations. No one was left out. It confirms it in the next phrase, he will plead with all flesh. Again, no one is left out. And then he will give them that are wicked to the sword, saith the Lord. On our website, one of our leading comments is that it's the basest of men that have been put over the nations. So all this is done so that we can experience the most horrific things possibly, the result of what we have been doing. So it's not just an ad hoc, off-the-cuff punishment of some vindictive God. No, no. He set up the rules that need to be adhered to for happy families, for successful families. And if you have happy and successful, righteous families, you'll have happy, successful, and righteous nations. And if you have happy and successful, righteous nations, you have a happy, successful, righteous world. That is why the family is being destroyed. Most families are places of warfare. The home is not somewhere that you want to go to. You go to work, you hate your work, but you're not actually looking forward to going home either. That's just a fact of life for countless millions of people. So when this gets so bad that the wickedness, the evil, the sin that we have sown has grown and matures and blossoms, literally all hell will break loose. Billions of people will die. Countless millions are already being affected by floods and earthquakes and all sorts of disasters. Well, the people who go through these things, it won't be too difficult for them to accept when you turn up and say, well, look, the reason for that taking place, I know you kept saying, why doesn't God intervene? But you really want to continue living in your self-centered rebellion, and you want God somehow to pretend that that isn't happening and to bless you with health, to bless you with all the good things of life. while you actually, as I like to say, keep dancing with the devil. Well, it will never happen. We've got to start thinking of other people. We can't even do that in our homes. Brothers don't get on with their sisters. Children are rude to their parents. Parents abuse their children. It's just a horrific, horrific tale. But you know, there's hope, because here and there are little shafts of life and light where God has touched people. And we are saying, your life doesn't have to be like that. But in order to change the situation, you have got to change your lifestyle. You know, now we've got 2-year-old children, 3-year-old children being bored. We have got teenagers being bored. When some of the teenagers get bored and the young people get bored, they just go on a destructive rampage. You know, when I was very young, I could never tell my mother, because my father died when I was about 4 years old, I could never tell my mother that I was bored or that I had nothing to do. That would be the biggest mistake you can make. Well, go and tidy up the garden. Sweep the passage. Wash down the place where the dog is kept. Read a book. Go and practice the piano. Bored? Go and polish the brass. Go and polish the floor. You didn't know there were so many jobs. You see, I didn't have any entertainment as, in brackets, as the television or the radio. I went and played cricket and football and went fishing and all these things, and cycled, all these things that young people should be out doing. But I certainly wasn't bored then, and 60-some years later, I have to tell you, I'm not bored now. But as soon as you can take your mind off yourself and how sorry you are for yourself, even that small thing will help to change you. You're bored, you have nothing to eat. And of course, you're saying this while you're standing in front of a fridge full of food and cupboards stocked with every kind of food you can imagine. But you see, it says, I have a little jug upstairs that I grew up with. I should have brought it and shown you. It says, contentment is great, godliness with contentment is great gain. So as soon as you put God into the picture, the whole scene changes. No longer are you frustrated. Of course you have trials, but you're able to deal with them. But as long as we keep God out of the picture, He's going to let us see that we have dug ourselves into a hole, and the more we dig, the deeper we get, and the worse it gets.